In particular, we're talking about new laminate floors. They can spruce up your home, right? Keep costs down as well, especially when you install them yourselves. There are a few tricks to put them in properly. That's where Colin Godbout comes in. Colin with Elevated Developments here with a few tips for us. And you said that you wanted to highlight 4 common mistakes that a lot of people, a lot of DIY people miss. These are the mistakes that they make. And the first one is similar to tiling, similar to hardwood flooring, and that's you got to have a smooth surface to work on, right?
That's right. Yeah, so you want to have a smooth, either plywood or concrete surface that you're going to work off of. You'll have joints in the plywood that have a tendency to lift over time, so you're going to want to sand those down, or any low spots you're going to want to fill.
Okay.
So even though the material seems rigid, when you're standing on it, it will flex.
It will flex, so the high spots will be shown and the low spots in particular as well, right? When you're stepping on those things. Okay, so we have a smooth, flat, decking that we're putting it on now. And I know you cut a small piece of it here, but what's this kind of blue piece of membrane there?
So any laminate flooring is going to suggest that you have an underlay.
Okay.
Now, I will suggest underlay is not where you cut costs in a laminate project. So you want to have a high quality underlay. I prefer a foam or a cork underlay. Any condo board, if you're in the inner city, they're going to require a foam or a cork underlay. Because not only does it take away a little bit of those imperfections, but it does a lot for sound dampening.
Oh, okay, keeping the sound down. That would, you'll have people below you hating you and cursing you if you don't do that. And you're saying don't cut costs there. Get a good underlay.
Good underlay.
All right, good underlay, good floor. We can remember that. Smooth surface, good underlay, good floor. Okay, and the third thing you wanted to highlight was the spacing between the end of the floorboards and the wall itself. Now, why do we need a gap there?
Well, even though it's not real wood, it still acts like real wood. So it'll take on moisture and then it'll expel moisture, and therefore it'll expand and contract.
I see.
Yeah.
So you want it super dry at times, super moist at times, right?
So you want to leave anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
So you never want to butt your laminate right up tight.
Okay.
So you'll see I've left this space here, and I showed that with our drywall of about 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
So then you want to stagger your joints, and your one piece will just click right into the next.
It's like a tongue and groove pattern.
That's right. It's a tongue and groove. So you can look at this piece here. And so we have our tongue here, groove on the other side.
And why stagger? It may seem like a simple, answer to the question, but why stagger?
Well, aesthetics.
Yeah.
So you never want to have all your joints lining up.
Sure.
But the biggest thing is for stability and rigidity in the floor. So if you put all your joints lined up, then all your weak points in that floor are going to line up.
It could open, right?
That's
it could buckle up. Okay, there we go. And so you're saying that you can just stagger them up and keep laying this guy in here. And I have a question. So you've got your things, and this is, I guess, the finishing piece to that. Now you come up here, this edge here that we're going to be showing, this is like if you come up against, the bathroom tiles or a carpet or that type of thing. How do you handle that edge?
Well, you're going to use something called a transition.
Yeah.
So just like our tile install, there's a lot of different types of transitions.
Sure.
This one here is a T transition. So both of these sides are the same height. So that would be for a doorway going laminate to laminate, or for where you have a tile surface that's the same height.
Okay.
So you'll see I've got a groove installed here.
Yeah.
The one thing I like to suggest is use a little bit of silicone within this channel.
Really?
So you'll go into a lot of people's houses, there's always loose transitions.
Yeah.
A little bit of silicone will flex, it'll move with the floor, but it'll give you just enough adhesion that you don't have that loose transition.
But you don't have the loose transition, then you just kind of glue it in place.
Glue it right in place.
And to tidy up the edges that we have with our walls and things, how do we do that?
So you can see you can leave lots of space here for expansion and contraction.
Yeah.
I've got a typical piece of baseboard. It's going to come down over top, finish up nicely, and we still have an additional 1/2 inch that floor can move before you'd ever see any joint down here in the baseboard.
Got to leave space for expansion, right? And the great thing about laminate flooring you're telling me is that it floats. And what does that mean?
Well, it is a floating floor. There's no fasteners. That's why it's probably the most popular DIY project out there. It's really easy to do, cost effective, and the materials they're putting out now are such high quality, you really can't beat it.
There you go. Colin, if people want to find out about Elevated Developments, how do they do that?
They can find me on my website. It's www.elevated-group.com.
Elevated-group.com.
That's right.
Okay.
They can email me directly, Colin@elevated-group.com.
There you go. Question him. He knows a lot of stuff.